Okay, good morning, dear students. Today we are going to learn exemption. I think section 1 to section 10 of CGST Act is over. Yes or no? One was just talking about why it was needed, what is the jurisdiction, etc. Two was talking about definition, right? 3, 4, 5, 6 was talking about GSTN, how the GST network has to be created. And then section 7 was talking about supply. Section 8 was talking about different types of supply, mixed supply, principal supply, deemed supply, composite supply. Yes or no? We did question on based on that. Section 9 we had discussed about levy and collection of taxes. Thereby we did lot of question whether it will be inter or intra. If it is intra, then CGST, SGST will be charged. If it is inter, then IGST will be charged. Many a time they will give you directly amount, nomenclature of tax to be charged. Many a times you have to decide whether which kind of tax will be levied on such kind of supply, whether it is goods or services, it is immaterial. Okay, and then section 10 we discussed about composition scheme. So the many of the businessmen, if they do not want to put themselves into the regular tax regime of GST, they can avail the benefit of composition scheme. How the composition scheme goes, you have seen for rest all other states other than northeastern state and Uttarakhand, the limit is 75 lakhs. For remaining all other states, the limit is 1 crore 50 lakhs. If you are well within that limit, you can apply for composition scheme and you can avail the benefit. I mean, this is for small vendor, okay? And there the tax liability and taxability is very less. You must have seen your basic tax structure of GST goes in 5 different rates of tax. That varies from 5% to 12% to 18% to 28%. Of course, the one segment which you are not aware, that is 0%. So these are 5, 0, 5, 12, 18 and 28 by and large. And when I'm talking about this is the rate, this is IGST rate. Okay, and when it comes to intra-state transaction, it will be break up into 2 parts. So 12 will become 6 and 6, 18 will become 9 and 9, 28 will become 14 and 14, and 5 will become 2.5 and 2.5. Is this clear? Whereas in composition scheme, maximum tax rate is now 6%. Earlier it was 5%. So from where the actual taxability starts in GST, that is the end point of composition scheme. But for that, you have to be in that kind of vendor, you have to be in that kind of trader, and then only you can avail the benefit. Am I clear to you all? Okay. So now we will talk about exemption, which is there under section 11 of CGST Act. So if you read the act, the exemption goes like this. No? In fact, all the chapters which I have discussed with you all are there. Introduction, supply, charges, but in descriptive form. Okay. And in descriptive form, it is difficult for you to first read the things, understand the things, and take out the important aspects out of them. Okay. So this is how they have explained so many pages of exemption. Whereas few slides, we have kept it for you, only the important aspects. Okay, so here the first one is charitable activity. What is charitable activity? That is explained under section 12, subsection 1, subsection AA of Income Tax Act. So if income tax has decided anything which is in the charitable nature, in such activity, there won't be any kind of GST which will be imposed. Okay. So you must have seen Red Cross, NGOs, such kind, when they are putting any kind of efforts, any kind of services, they don't charge any kind of GST on that. Okay. The second one is pure services to the government. If you are providing any services to the government, see, ultimately GST will be collected by whom? Government. If you will charge, then what will happen? First you will charge from the government, you will collect, again you will pay to the government. Agreed or not? Suppose आपका receiver is government only, then what will happen? You will, receiver is government, you will collect from them, again you will pay to the government. So in such cases, government don't want such discrepancies should come and they don't charge. They are covered under exemptions list. Am I clear? Understood? So what kind of government? Central government, any state government, any union territory or local authority. Or local authority. Okay. They won't charge any kind of GST. Even panchayat and municipality has been incorporated here. Okay. Suppose you are having file manufacturing company. You know, every government organization needs file. So if you are providing those file ka supply to, say for example, TCS. So in such invoice, you will impose GST. Am I clear? But same file has been supplied to, say for income tax department or sales tax department. In such cases, or BMC, in such supply, you won't charge any kind of GST. Am I clear to you all? Understood what is the meaning of pure services to the government? Then services by the government. Now hardly services is left by the government. Do you agree with me or not? कोई भी services government का अपने लिए अभी available नहीं है, honestly, other than postal. और कुछ भी नहीं है. Rest all has been privatized. Yes or no? So there also pure postal. If it is speed post, if it is telegraph, then those services are not covered under here. And these all descriptions, if you want to read, see, just now I was talking about here only. So if you want to learn what is 12AA, entire description is given. You read. What do you mean by charity? How it implies? Okay. Pure services to the government, I told you. Any goods? Panchayat, municipality, everything I have completed. Yes or no? So if you want to the descriptive note, you have to go there. Okay. Here I was talking about postal. Only and only basic postal. If it is speed post or express parcel or life insurance, now you must be knowing. Okay. They are not incorporated here. On that, appropriate amount of GST is charged. If suppose a postal department is coming, is having now their insurance product also. So if you go for the postal insurance product, they will charge GST. But if you go for normal posting from here to somewhere else, they won't charge. Basic postal, no charges. Am I clear to you all? Okay. Aircraft or vessel, to whom? if it is provided to central government, state government, union territory or local authority. If they are giving to them, like you must have seen during pandemic, there are a lot of Air India flights which has been recruited for the people who are working across world to be, again called to India. In such cases, they were not charging because those flights has been was serving for Government of India. So if it is, or many a times you must have seen vaccination we have given to Singapore, Malaysia and neighboring countries. So in such cases, vessel must have gone. In such cases, they won't charge any kind of GST. Am I clear? Or you must have seen many a times it is monsoon, cyclone and all. And government recruits and government sends certain relief material and taking and hiring those aircraft or vessels. In such cases, again, there won't be any, provided if such services from the government to the government. And any services to the government, if it is more than 5,000, up to 5,000 it is exempted. Beyond 5,000 it will be chargeable to GST. Okay. Pure labor contract, if it is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, other than residential complex, in such cases it will be exempted, remaining will be chargeable. So if you want to read, the material is there even in your textbook also, the book which you are referring. These all things have been incorporated there also. Clear, eh? Everything one by one they have explained here with their examples. Okay. So wherever you want, whatever the material you want to refer, kindly refer that. But read all those materials and make yourself equipped about these concepts. Here in PPT, these are only the pointers. Am I clear? So I hope you must have taken these pointers. If not, kindly to take down, then we will go for next PPT. Charitable activity, pure services to the government, services by the government, and labor contract. Priya, Mehak, Ayush is writing, Kurti is writing, Yul is writing, Vaishnavi, Aditi is writing, Asmita is also writing, Shikha and Shreyas is also writing. Remaining again out of coverage area. Their video mode is off. You can't see them. This week, I think our discussion and deliberation will go to exemptions only. There are lot many exemptions and they are very important. And that can be fit in any of the questions. In any of the question, they will put one or two items of exemption. You have to exclude them. And then only you can take the value of supply, and then only you can apply there the tax rate, and finally you can calculate the tax liability. These are very important chapters. Completed. Just put your thumbs up, then I can make out how many of you have completed. Yes, Mehak has completed. Vaishnavi, Aradhya, Asmita, Aditi, Mathli. What about remaining students? Kindly take down pass. Thank you, Kinjal. Okay, Shika. Okay, so majority to whom I can see they have completed. Now let us go to the next. So as we have seen here, the charitable activities which covered under section 12 subsection A of income tax, of their religious ceremonies also exempted. Okay. If there is any services by any hotel where the tariff rate, which is very difficult to get nowadays, less than 1,000 per day, impossible to get. Even if you'll see the hotel, it's never been less than 2,000 or 3,000 per day. So if such cases, you are residing in some hotel or somewhere, and if they are charging you any GST, please don't pay. You need not have to pay. It is exempted. It's very clearly stated here. Okay. Then if there is a transportation of passenger, okay, if there is a air passenger, you are flying to those 7 sisters, northeast state, okay. That day also I told you, Meghalaya, Tripura, Assam, those Arunachal Pradesh. So there, if you'll book the ticket, there won't be any GST. But if you'll book the ticket for Delhi, you'll book the ticket for Ahmedabad, there will be GST. I don't know what government has. Everywhere, if there is a AC, there is a GST. If there is non-AC, there won't be any GST. So, non-AC transportation service to the government. If we are providing to the government, exempted. Railway except AC. Metro, mono, okay. Auto rickshaw, no GST. But other than auto rickshaw, if you are taking Ola Uber, which is with AC, fully. Inland water services, I don't know whether you have used or not, but now it is very popular in Gujarat, having very less traffic, very fast way of communication, commuting from here to there. So there also they have excluded. So these were regarding passenger. Similarly, if there is a transportation of goods, okay, and if such transport is other than any transport agency or courier agency, if they are there, then definitely there will be GST. If they are not there, then if there is a transportation of goods related to defense material, newspaper, railway equipment, and agriculture produce, such cases there won't be GST. Otherwise, GST will be charged. Detailed description is given here. You can read all this. And from this only, I have created the pointers in your slide. So by this, your another 4 exempted item has been incorporated. Kindly take down. Which are those? Religious ceremony, services by hotel if their tariff is less than 1,000. And this kind of question will come, 100%. Transportation of passenger, human being, air, water, railways, and transportation of goods. Okay, take down and let me know that you have completed. Yanshika, Mehak, Shruti, Neol, Vaishnavi, Aditi, Shreyas, they all are writing. Asmita, Kinjal, Priya, just all has put their video mode off. I cannot comment on them. They may ask question like this: if you have resided in a hotel, XYZ hotel, and their tariff rate is 1,200 per day, okay, and GST is at the rate of 18%, what will be the tax payable? What you will say? There nil tax payable. Why? Because they are exempted under section 11 of CGST. Am I right? Why? Because tariff rate is, sorry, if it is 1,200, then it will be chargeable. If it is less than 1,000, if it is 900, then there won't be charges. Similarly, they may ask for, AC and non-AC auto rickshaw. If it is AC auto rickshaw, they will charge GST. If it is non-AC auto rickshaw, they won't charge GST. So wherever there is AC, they may charge GST, and it is as per government instruction. Yes, Kinjal? Done? Very good. Kinjal completed. Shikha has also completed. Mehak has completed. Neol has completed. Ria has completed. Smita has also completed. So government is very specific. Which kind of transportation of passenger will be exempted? Which kind of transportation of goods will be exempted? If it is not so, then it is as per the normal rate which government has decided. They need to charge GST and they need to pay to the government. Honestly speaking, till here, there will be questions in your exam. Okay. In your internal, we will cover till section 11. We will not go for time of supply for goods. Why I'm telling you, there was a question that day, and I have realized these are considered in first two units of our syllabus. And then third unit will start from time of supply or place of supply or value of supply. Okay. So till here, there will be question. Exemptions, till exemption, there will be a question. Am I right? Is this clear? There was a question by few students during last lecture. Sir, what will be the, I suppose Aradhya only has asked me. So first and second unit, always you know your internals covers two units. So these two units will be there. Is this clear? So all of you have completed. Clear. Then remaining exemptions also we will see in the next lecture of this week only.